Good evening, everyone, from the Realistic Design Bureau. I'm Andy Epics here. We are currently standing by for the launch of Kerbosat 1, the first Kerbal geostationary satellite for the Kerbosat company. T-minus 50 seconds. Guidance is active. Standing by for grid fin control disabled. Grid fin control disabled. Flight path plotted. Ignition. 0 and liftoff of the Falcon 9 with Kerbosat 1. On its way to geosynchronous orbit. Kerbosat 1 is on its way. Kerbosat 1 should be beginning the pitch, yaw, and roll maneuver. Roll in progress. Falcon 9 flying as expected. Standing by for the start of the pitch kick. Pitch kick start confirmed. Beginning downrange pitch. Downrange pitch, start nominal. Falcon 9 flying as expected. Apoapsis up at 5 kilometers. Approaching the speed of sound. Through the speed of sound. F9 is now traveling faster than Mach 1 and has experienced maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle. 9 Merlin 1D engines burning as expected. F9 is on its way to a nominal parking orbit for geostationary transfer. Standing by for throttle set 0. Standing by for MECO. We have MECO. The main engines have cut off on the Falcon 9. Good 1-2 SEP. Beginning second stage guidance enabled. Second stage guidance is enabled. Second stage systems running. attempting a velocity gain to reorientation to target inclination is active. Vehicle orientation is nominal. Vehicle continuing to attempt to gain velocity. Vehicle velocity gain nominal. Vehicle payload fairing separation nominal as expected. We have launch reset due to failure of the second stage. Launch launched. That last flight you saw was a simulated mission. Vehicle into the pitch maneuver as well as the roll. Vehicle flight nominal as expected. Exiting to simulated external view. Apoapsis above 20 kilometers. Beginning vehicle throttled phase of flight. Vehicle throttled phase of flight is active. Vehicle throttle phase of 50, active nominal. Vehicle throttle back to 0. Nominal as confirmed. Separation. Ignition of the second stage. MVAC engine powering up. MVAC engine is active. MVAC engine burning 25 units of fuel per second. First stage continuing on a ballistic trajectory. Stage 2 engine burn nominal. We're above most of the atmosphere now, so we're ditching the fairing. Fairing jettison is confirmed, as expected. Vehicle now entering the ballistics phase. Vehicle is now beginning downrange orientation. First stage stability is enabled. First stage... No. First stage autopilot disabled. First stage stability is enabled. First stage reaction thrusters are enabled. Standing by to begin the landing system. Landing guidance system is enabled. Grid fins are enabled. Altitude 57 kilometers. "55. Beginning descent profile. Descent profile nominal. "38 kilometers above the surface. Beginning the entry burn. We should have entry burn shutdown. Entry burn shutdown confirmed. Grid fins deploy. Auto landing sequence has started. Auto landing sequence is active. Falcon 9 descent nominal. This is just a simulation of what would happen if the first stage decided to if we decided to return and land the first stage. Altitude 3.6K. First stage landing burn sequence is starting. Altitude of 1 kilometer. The landing burn sequence is starting. Landing gear deploy. Velocity 30, 20, 15 meters a second, 6.5. Nine meters, 8 meters, 7 meters, 6 meters, 5 meters, 4 meters, 3 meters, 1 meter, approaching touchdown. Touchdown. No part of the vehicle was lost. Launch vehicle booster landing simulator is complete. That is what would happen if we chose to land the first stage of our launcher, which we are not. Here we go with the actual flight. Two, one. We should have ignition. Ignition. Launch confirmed. Liftoff of the Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is on its way. Falcon 9 roll maneuver is starting. Falcon 9 pitch maneuver should be beginning shortly. Standing by for Falcon 9 pitch maneuver. Falcon 9 pitch maneuver is in progress. Beginning the pitch downrange out of the KSC. Downrange pitch is nominal. Apoapsis at 12 kilometers. Apoapsis above 20. Throttle limiter set 70 mark. The thrust limiter on the first stage is set to 70%. About 4,000 units of fuel remaining. Throttle limiter set 0 active. Separation. Second stage engaged. Second stage now into the ballistic. Coast period. Fairing jet. View provided from the variable zoom camera, mounted to the bottom of the second stage. Now coasting to the insertion burn. Standing by for coast phase complete. Second stage burn 2 start. Normally a Falcon 9 mission to GTO would use 2 burns, but burn continues as expected. Standing by for insertion. The orbit is 120 by 74. The first stage will be recovered on this flight. as 120 kilometers is the new set apogee for Falcon 9 GTO missions. Shutdown of the 6 main engines. Beginning the flip. For the landing sequence. Beginning retro vector orientation. Standing by for atmospheric entry. And we have atmospheric entry ballistic phase. Grid fins deploy. Grid fins deploy nominal. Beginning to experience some shock heat as we decelerate back into the atmosphere. Zero thrust limiter disabled. Six out of 9 first stage engines were lost. Attempting to make the landing burn on 3 first stage engines. And attempting to land on 3 landing legs. We should have 4 strong landing legs. Descent profile nominal. Altitude 2 kilometers, velocity 120 meters a second. Vehicle lost. First stage is continuing to coast. First stage coast is nominal. Correction, second stage coast is nominal. Preparing for a geostationary transfer burn in 90 seconds. Orientation to the maneuver is nominal. Beginning a 90-second coast phase. This burn is 633 meters a second. It's 660 odd meters a second. And we have the burn start. Falcon 9 Merlin vacuum engine burning 25 units of fuel per second. It's now pushing Kerbosat 1 onto a geostationary transfer orbit. The burn is nominal. Approaching main engine shutdown. Approaching stage 2 engine shutdown. Altitude 101 kilometers. Stage 1 engine shutdown is confirmed. Beginning the spin. The spin up will allow the spacecraft to continue traveling very straight. And we have separation. Second stage into the D-spin. Payload is into the D-spin. Payload has despun. Fine controls are disabled. Circularization altitude is input. As Kerbostar 1 will provide, Kerbosat 1 will provide TV services to those Kerbals who do not have TV already. This payload is under contract from the Kerbosat Corporation. This is the Kerbosat Corporation's first satellite in geosynchronous orbit. As we begin the engine firing, of the satellite's orbital insertion engine. In order to insert the payload into its nominal geosynchronous orbit, orbital information active. Orbital insertion complete nominally. Beginning final fine-tune with the onboard maneuvering engine. We just have to make a short 0.1 meter per second burn. And Kerbosat 1 is on orbit and will now begin the on-orbit checkouts. As it pertains to this payload. And the Realistic Design Bureau's final task of this mission is to deploy the 2 Kerbosat antennas. This is Kerbostar 103 East. There's Kerbostar 103 East. There's going to be several Kerbostar satellites on operation in geosynchronous orbit. And then in a few years, other payloads will be launched to replace them. And the final task of this mission is to reorient the second stage And to fire the deorbit thruster. And to deorbit the second stage. As we fall back to the atmosphere of Kerbin, and hopefully burn up over water, I will say thank you for watching the launch of Kerbosat 1. I'm Andy.